You're out there. You're just confident.
Once more, watch.
What's up, guys? So I am currently on day 32 on No Fap. Alright, and I've been wanting to try this for a while because on the internet a lot of people claim that there are a lot of benefits to No Fap, but then there's also those people that think that it's just complete placebo and that you don't actually have any sort of real benefits to No Fap. So I went ahead and tried it myself for 32 days, and I want to share with you guys my experience to see if there are actually any real benefits. So for starters, are there any real benefits to No Fap? And my answer to you, yes, I think there are. Because here's the thing, like I've said in previous videos, the quality of your life is pretty much all in here, okay? The way you view the world, your perception of things is going to shape your reality. That being said, if No Fap is placebo, it's still a really effective, beneficial placebo, okay? Do I think No Fap is placebo? I think yes and no. No, because there's research that shows that after about a week of retaining your seed, your testosterone levels basically go back to where they need to be. Some people say they increase, but I think they just go back to where they need to be because a lot of guys tend to have low testosterone, all right? I don't think No Fap really increases your testosterone that much, even if it does, but it basically regulates it. And on the flip side, it can be placebo because when you're on No Fap, you have this you feel this great sense of accomplishment, which it is an accomplishment being on No Fap because you're basically preventing yourself from giving in to what is probably the strongest urge you have as a man. So if you have control over that, then you basically have control over other areas of your life. So I feel like it's both, but regardless, it's beneficial. Alright, the first benefit I would say that I've noticed is an increase in discipline. Because if you think about it, you're refraining from doing the very thing that you biologically want to do. It's probably the strongest urge you have as a man, and you're not doing it. You're not giving in. That takes a high level of discipline. And when you have the control to transmute that energy into more productive things, you become more disciplined in that way as well. You start to get more things done because instead of wasting that energy, you're putting it into more productive things. You're not thinking small. You're not thinking, how can I gratify myself instantly? You're thinking, how can I use this to reach a long-term fulfillment? This can lay the foundation to become a more disciplined person overall. It lays that groundwork for you. The second thing is you have a strong sense of pride. Knowing that you have the self-control to refrain from giving in to probably the strongest urge you have as a man gives you a keen sense of pride and confidence. And the third thing is you actually have a strong desire to talk to a girl. Since you're always a horn dog every single day, your body is telling you to release. And since you're not gonna fap one out, your only option is to go and find a girl to release with, which is biologically the most natural and most ideal thing to do. The fourth thing is you reboot your brain. Pornography is extremely detrimental to your mental health. If you want to go more in depth with that, there's a really good book I recommend everyone read. It's called Your Brain on Porn. Porn gives you a false sense of reality because your brain is so used to seeing girls and these sex acts on the porn videos. It's expecting your sexual encounters in real life to emulate what you see on those videos. And when you're getting intimate with a real girl, they most likely will not exceed your expectations. You won't even feel that excitement being with a real girl who's exposed for you. Which is why a lot of the time, a lot of young guys, say that they have trouble getting it up and they suffer from, erectile dysfunction. And I myself have actually fallen victim of that in the past. I've had times where I've had trouble performing, with a girl that I was with. And I don't want to say it was entirely because of that, but that was definitely a major factor as to why I wasn't able to perform the way I should at the age that I'm at. Think about when you were a kid, right? You saw a naked girl in the movies or in a picture online, whatever. Really think about it. Try to remember the feeling that you felt seeing it. you felt this really intense feeling inside you, this overwhelming excitement. That feeling, more or less, should still be there throughout your life as an adult. Maybe not as intense as when you were a kid, but a strong feeling nevertheless. But when you're an avid porn user, you're so desensitized that that excitement is almost non-existent, which is really bad because that can lead to, you know, having bad relationships, divorce, not being able to please your partner sexually, you know, and it just kind of messes up that whole area of your life. And then the other thing, I've read that a lot of guys on NoFap, they claim that they start getting girls to like check them out. And me being the realist that I am, you know, I have a very open mind. You know, I'm very unbiased. So I wasn't saying, oh, that's fake, you know, they're just making that up. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't know if that's actually a real thing. But here's the thing, all right? And I have people to vouch for me, multiple people to vouch for me for this. So the first person, I was with my mom one day, all right? We're just walking at the mall, walking around, shopping, and then she notices girls staring at me. She even says like, yo, that girl, she didn't say yo, she's like, that girl's checking you out. And I'm like, yeah, she does that, the whole like eye thing, right? She looks at me and then she sees my mom looking at her, so then she looks away. And of course, you know, that's just coincidence. Maybe she was just looking in my direction. All right, 2 days ago, I was out in downtown filming videos. I was waiting to cross the street, and then there's this group of people on scooters just passing by. One was a really attractive girl. She stared at me, and not only did she stare at me, but she smiled at me. I can't remember the last time somebody actually took the liberty to look at me and smile at me, okay? Let alone a hot girl, okay? And if that's not enough, the next day, I went out again with the same person I was with. Some girl with some guy next to her was crossing the street, and I'm just sitting, minding my own business. I'm just looking around, being an observant individual, and the girl that was with the guy stares into my direction and smiles at me also, okay? And I'm in a completely different city, so it's not like, okay, people in this city are nicer than this city. No. Those two girls looked at me and smiled at me. These attractive girls that I find attractive. So I'm like, okay, this can't be coincidence. I'm like, you know, I'm a realist and all, but this is getting kind of like, this is crazy at this point. Like usually I'm the one that has to do the talking first to build that attraction, you know, with girls. But then in these scenarios, these girls are just walking and they spot me out of all people and then smile at me. So it's kind of, you know, it's a weird thing. Like maybe because I was walking around with this sense of confidence, this really keen sense of confidence, they felt that. Because like I say in many videos, you know, your sub-communication is so much stronger than the words that you speak. So the vibe you give off is more significant than the words that you say. So I don't know, I'm just telling you guys my experiences. So would I recommend every guy do NoFap? Absolutely. Especially if you're someone who is addicted to like watching pornography, or you fap multiple times a day, then you would definitely benefit from it. If you're not really an avid porn user to begin with, it's possible that it might not do much for you, to be honest. But then again, you know, if you keep an open mind, it probably will, because like I said, even if it is placebo, it's the best placebo out there. So I mean, that's all I just wanted to share. I just wanted to share with you guys my experience with NoFap. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys another time.